Alright guys, so I am just getting right into this summer shimmery tutorial. I have been doing shimmery every day on my eyes in the summer. It's just my look of choice. Hopefully this voiceover is going to work. I keep recording it and then iMovie keeps quitting on me, so it loses everything. Anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed. So this is just my Studio Fix foundation, and it's kind of like a yellowy tone, which really helps to cancel out any kind of pinky tones I have in my skin. And then I just buff it in with my Sigma F80, which also takes away any excess product so it doesn't look too fake. You can layer that foundation if you want, but I'm just doing one thin layer. Then I'm using my Benefit Erase Paste. This is the lightest one, number 1, and I'm just putting that on the cheeks where I need a little extra coverage, and then under the eyes. So just blending it all in, and I'm sorry my voiceover is going to be like totally choppy. I don't know what's going on with my iMovie. Anyway, we're going to make this happen. So just blending everything in, and then I'm moving on to the eyes with the Tarte Amazonian Escape. This is this palette that came out probably a couple of years ago, and I didn't get much use, but it came in this beautiful clutch. As you can see, it looks like a purse, and some really useful colors in there that I really need to pull out more. So I'm just buffing that into the crease, and then as you can see, I'm not gonna explain it too much because you can kind of see what I'm doing. I don't need to tell you what I'm doing, but I'm just buffing it in, swishing it around, and then I move on to a darker color, and then I'm gonna add some more of that darker color. So just watch the video and you'll see what I'm doing, and enjoy the music. Okay, so now it's going to get a little more exciting. We're adding the shimmer part. This is Makeup Geek Cosmopolitan, which is just about a dupe for MAC Expensive Pink. I'm loading it up on a MAC 239 and I'm spritzing it with a MAC Fix Plus, which just adds more intensity to the shimmer. And I'm just patting that all over the lid up to the crease, but not above the crease. And as you can see, you get some nice payoff, especially when you use it wet. Then I'm going back in with a little more blending using these two colors, and then just carving out a little more, just so there's a little more transition there, so it doesn't just float right into, you know, the lightness of my brow bone. You have more depth, so it just looks a little more dramatic that way. This is another Makeup Geek eyeshadow called Shimma. So it's like a really icy pink, not as yellow as MAC Nylon, but about as shimmery. I mean, so much shimmer. I love it for the inner corner, but it's got more of like a pinky champagne kind of tone. And so I'm using that in the inner corner, and then I'm taking this lighter color from the palette, and I'm using that as my brow bone highlight because I don't want too much shimmer on the brow bone. Just not really my thing. I'm just putting something like with a little bit of a sheen, but not so much that you're going to see it from a mile away. This is my favorite brow pencil ever. I'm just going in, shaping out the brows. You can see what I'm doing here. Nothing special. And then I'm going to go over with a little bit of brow powder by Anastasia. Keep watching, you'll see it all. Alright, so just kind of like shaping out the brows with a little bit of powder over the pencil. I find it looks really natural that way, and it just kind of sets everything in place just using a slanty brush, nothing special. Alright, so it's really one of the best eyeliners that I have in my kit. I absolutely love it. It's MAC Prunella, which is like a brownie purple. I think it looks so good on just about any eye color, but especially greens and browns. And I'm just kind of adding a little bit of a wing, as you can see, and I'm going to go over with a lighter brown gel liner, but this kind of just gives it like an anchor, and then in the waterline you can see that liner come through. So then I'm just going in with the first eyeshadow that I used on the lid, which was Makeup Geek Cosmopolitan, and I'm putting that right on the bottom lash line just to kind of blend in over the Prunella and add a nice little sheen and like a little bit of a haze, as you can see. Going in with MAC Dip Down. This is just a really warm brown liner, and it's a gel liner, so it's really easy to work with. At first I use this kind of floppy brush, but then I switched to like a more stiff brush because I find with the gel formulas, it's much easier to use something a little stiffer. Okay, a little more concealer, just cleaning up under the eyes. Nothing really fell down. I was really impressed with the way the eyeshadows performed, but this just kind of cleans it up and makes it look nice and neat and a little more highlighted. All right, blending it in, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. The Maybelline mascara. I ended up adding false lashes on the outer corners, so depending on what you decide to do, you could load up the mascara, you could just go right into the false lashes. Setting everything with Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. This is another item I found in my makeup closet, and I haven't really been using it, but I need to because it's really good stuff. So it's like a use it or lose it kind of day. I'm using all these things that I'm like, oh my god, I have that, I love that, why am I not using it? So I'm bringing it out. So I'm setting this, I love this, it's like a really sheer kind of setting powder. And then we go in and do some highlighting. Now, unfortunately, this Mary Loumanizer smashed. It was my 4-year-old. I think he was playing with it, so it was my fault for letting him play with it. But it still works, you just have to be careful with it. And I just kind of swirl some in the cap and put it all on the points of my face that I want a little more highlighting, like my cheekbones, my cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose. I did put a little bit between my brows, which if you're like 20 is a good idea, but because I haven't had any Botox yet, it's something that is kind of on the agenda right there. I'm putting it. It only highlights that area, so it was like kind of like wasn't thinking, but anyway. I am using MAC Subculture lip liner. This is a really good, it's been around forever, just like a really great nude, and I'm kind of overdrawing my lips because I want them to be really full and like luscious and like plump. So the way to achieve that is just overdraw them a little bit just outside the lip line, and then when you go in and fill it in with lipstick, you'll see when I do the lipstick and the gloss, I mean, you can kind of tell they're filled in and they're overdrawn, but they definitely look a lot bigger than they do when I don't have anything on. Alright, this is one of my favorite lipsticks, Tom Ford Pink Dusk. I love it so much, but it's like not the kind of lipstick I want to bring in my purse and risk losing or melting in my car. So it doesn't get a lot of play, but I love using it at home. Such a pretty pinky nude, but it's not too nude and not too pink. MAC Oyster Giri lip glass I thought was the perfect topping for this. And I used my finger because I didn't want to put the applicator in the tube and then put it on my lips or, use it on a client that way. So I usually put it on the back of my hand and then I just place it with my ring finger on my lips. Then I wanted a little more oomph in my lips, so I took this MAC Stripdown liner and I just drew it right on the bottom, as you can see, and it makes your lips look just a little bit bigger because it adds sort of like a fake shadow. MAC Cubic Blush, a lot of MAC stuff today, I know, as always. This is a great blush. It's my new favorite blush. Oh my gosh, I've had it forever. It sat in my kit, didn't really get used because as you can see it's like a really fair skinned kind of blush. But with a little building up, I think it's my new best friend. Like, it's the only blush that I put on my cheeks lately that does not make my hyperpigmentation look worse. And I'm even using a little bit in my crease just to slightly warm up the crease. Yes, I'm putting a little bit of blush in my crease. And I find that it just like really ties it all together. And I was really happy with the way it kind of brought everything together. So, as you can see, we're coming to an end, just little finishing touches here. And I did, you'll see at the end of the video, I do have these false lashes on. I thought I recorded it, I might have cut it. Little Riri was needing me at the end, so he's in my lap. But there's the look. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you.